A wide variety of UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles, are now being rapidly developed and deployed by a number of major military powers, like the Russian Federation, the United States of America, and the People's Republic of China. All this massive multi-billion-dollar investment in this advanced and remote technology is likely to greatly influence the face of modern warfare for decades to come. So, are we finally seeing the start of an era of wars on land, sea, and in the air that is carried out by killer robots who kill and destroy without hesitation or emotion? Will this mean short, precise wars with a little economic collateral damage and do away with the need for mass loss of life? Or the dehumanizing of armies slaughtering one another? Well, only time will tell. With this in mind, combat drones came of age with the introduction of the US Predator and Reaper UAVs in the late 1990s and early 2000s. The advantage of this new and advanced technology was clear, as these unmanned drones had the ability to loiter on station for incredibly long periods of time, up to 14 hours. But still being able to carry a deadly payload that consisted of guided Hellfire air-to-ground missiles and pave-way precision laser-guided bombs. And as they were controlled remotely via satellite by operators hundreds, if not thousands of miles away, they were relatively cheap compared to the conventional fighter bombers to buy and operate. Also, as they were unmanned, it took out the risk of your side suffering friendly human casualties in the form of pilots and air crews, eliminating the possibility of losing highly skilled personnel and also avoiding any possible public backlash over any kind of casualties. Then, recently the world was shocked when in October of 2022, the Russian military started using in the Ukraine a whole new type of drone, the suicide, or as the media like to call them, kamikaze drones. The main purpose of these drones is to be expendable and to be used for one mission only. So, in a way, they are more like a flexible guided missile, as they are able to loiter for long periods of time, as well as being able to, if the tactical situation required it, switch to different new targets while in flight. This new type of combat drone was the $20,000 Geranium 2, a drone based on an Iranian design. These drones were liked to be used by the Russians in large-scale attacks in the hope of overwhelming the enemy's defenses by sheer weight of numbers. This tactic quickly proved highly successful, especially as the standard Ukrainian interceptor missile, the NATO-supplied Iris-T, cost around $400,000 each. This meant these Geranium 2 drones were quickly placing a huge financial burden on the already overstretched Ukrainian air defenses, as each of these interceptor missiles were costing about 20 times more than a single enemy Geranium 2 drone. Whereas, the Americans are in the process of taking a slightly different and high-tech approach with combat drones by developing the experimental Kratos XQ-58 Valkyrie. It is named after the supernatural maidens in Norse mythology who guide the souls of the fallen warriors to the god Odin's great feasting hall, mythical Valhalla. This radical new generation of US unmanned combat drones is designed to work in partnership with their 5th-generation jet fighters, like the F-22 Raptor and F-35 Lightning II aircrafts. It does this by working directly with nearby 5th-generation US combat aircraft over ultra-secure data network links. The US Kratos Corporation, who are behind this revolutionary combat system, is a company that specializes in high-tech weapon systems that are both reliable and affordable. For they are currently involved in the process of developing such things as shipborne laser defensive weaponry for the US Navy, the highly advanced engine for the new Grey Wolf cruise missile, and responsible for designing the proof-of-concept UTAP-22 Mako unmanned tactical attack aerial platform. This last system is based on existing technology, being developed around the BQM-167 Skeeter target drone and this newly customized version called the UTAP-22 Mako. This can now carry a variety of weapons, is reusable, and has an advanced independent AI programming ability that allows it to attack a target while being a part of a much larger coordinated swarm of similar drones. And now Kratos has evolved the combat drone concept even further, and in partnership with the USAF, are in the process of testing the experimental XQ-58 Valkyrie stealthy unmanned combat aerial drone. This is a low-cost, attritable strike demonstrator first flew in 2019, and its aim is to demonstrate that it was possible to develop an extremely high-performance drone at a very reasonable price. Therefore, to keep the unit price as low as practically possible by using as much as they can existing technology that already has a proven track record. It is hoped by doing this that the Valkyrie will have developmental potential that is low risk in nature. Also, the XQ-58 Valkyrie is intended to be fully reusable and capable enough to assist and enhance the combat performance and survivability of more usable USAF frontline aerial strike assets. This blends together several existing concepts, including being relatively inexpensive at $3 million to be affordable enough to sacrifice if it means saving a friendly $150 million F-22 or $79 million F-35 aircraft in order to destroy its target. But it does require an aircraft with a very sophisticated avionics capable of networked data fusion. This enables advanced situational awareness of all aspects of the battlefield, whether this be the physical or on the electronic spectrum. Therefore, this excludes the US legacy-era aircraft that were left over from the Cold War, like the F-15E Strike Eagles and the A-10C Warthogs, as despite numerous upgrades over the years, its electronics are a generation behind what is needed to operate the Valkyrie, which is required as a part of the new emerging US strategy of combat clouding. This is where ultra-intelligent drones like the Valkyrie will operate in large numbers alongside the latest USAF strike planes and totally destroy a target and its air defenses. If the Valkyrie is successful and reaches production, it could be produced in the thousands to work in partnership with the huge numbers of F-35s that are going to be made. The F-35 is thought to be the biggest and most expensive military program in history. Though the Valkyrie is meant to be low cost, it would be affordable by only the more wealthier of countries, as each one costs more than a Learjet 60 luxury passenger jet, or 6 Bentley Continental convertible luxury sports cars. Though it is significantly less costly to purchase or operate than a F-35A Lightning II or an MQ-9 Reaper. The Valkyrie is of a very stealthy design, and its smallish size does indeed help reduce the chance of being detected by the enemy. Though the USAF does nowadays see that stealth alone is not enough to protect an aircraft. It has, therefore, made the Valkyrie highly maneuverable, with an advanced suite of electronic countermeasures and jammers. The Valkyries are much faster than the previous generation of military drones, but would struggle to keep up with the F-35s, which are capable of doing nearly full speed on a fuel-efficient supercruise setting for prolonged periods of time. Nevertheless, the Valkyrie is capable of speeds up to 100 miles per hour faster than World War II P-51D Mustang fighter. Its main payload is a pair of GBU-39 B-250-pound precision guided glide bombs, but it will be able to later carry sophisticated air-to-air missiles as well as advanced guided anti-tank and anti-ship missiles. Though the XQ-58 Valkyrie is, at the moment, purely an experimental demonstrator, it is nevertheless hoped by its manufacturers in the near future to produce between 250 to 500 of them a year and supply them to the US Armed Forces and its closest allies. So, seeing ghostly Valkyries could soon be a common sight in the skies above us.